Hello friends, we had a news today and only in Hindu, and that too on page 10. That means it is not even a news worth reading for ordinary people. I have been talking about tribes, though we all know that anthropology has long back de-recognized this concept of tribe for being colonial and for being oversimplified. But we are continuing because it is there in your constitution. And anthropologists have continued this legacy, British legacy, I don't know why. The news is that in Lok Sabha, a bill has been passed amending the definition of forest in the Forest Conservation Act 2023. And only the forests which have been declared forests, FRA will apply only to those. Vast tracts are there that have not been declared as forests, but are forests. Government will have its own say in their development. And there are vast tracts where no forest is there, but they have been declared as forest. No advantage to any group. I have been talking about this issue for don't know how long. I have two videos also on who cares for tribal development, who cares. And a booklet also is there. And FRA, who's forest. Again and again I have emphasized, whenever anything negative happens in terms of development, of course people are happy, the city dwellers are happy. But whatever negative happens, whatever harm is there, weaker sections are always the major sufferers, and within the weaker sections it is women and the children. I don't know, every time when you talk to anthropologists, you will be talking, they say tribe, this tribe, that tribe. But what are you doing for the tribes? And that way I doing. I am trying something somehow. I have already said, they have been your bread and butter. You reach this stage studying them, learning from them, and then you have forsaken them. You know the way they have been taken care of, firstly by the British and then by all the governments right from independence. You know what were the comments of Thaber Commission and Shilua Committee, what were recommendations of Professor S.C. Dubey or Professor L.P. Vidyarthi or Khaka Committee, every time we keep harping about, or Abhay Committee or blah blah blah. You keep writing and writing, and just now there was a release of a book day before yesterday. I'll show to you. What has happened to in the case of Polavaram Dam. 371 villages are being displaced. Our job is just to study them alone. Our job is only to give recommendations. Why don't you recommend that stop everything before you analyze pros and cons with respect to the people who are suffering, who are the real stakeholders? Why don't you recommend that these people, the marginalized communities, should be made stakeholders in profits, not only as compensation? Why don't you people recommend that why should you encroach into their areas without their knowledge, without their permission, through your laws, the language of which is unknown to an ordinary person? Forget about them. This kind of news will keep coming. These will keep enriching your knowledge. These will be adding to your references in terms of your research papers and books. But what will ultimately happen to the tribals? I have already given a simple explanation. Let us say there was a time when a major part of the country was inhabited by the people, the marginalized people, you call them tribal. I am going to debunk this terminology, colonial construct. Because your population was increasing, and because your greed for material wealth was increasing, you needed space also, you need energy sources also, trees and woods and coal and mines and water, everything, medicines. So what you did, you pushed tribals on a side, occupied that place, developed colonies over them. Whatever you done to the earth, creating concrete jungles, you are seeing what is nature doing to you, still you refuse to learn. After some time, again your greed increased, again your energy needs, again you push them to sides. This process continues. Ultimately, either you will throw them across the Himalayas or you will throw them into the sea. So far, nobody will object. You will be happy. You are developing. But thereafter, when your population increases and when your greed increases, what are you going to do? The only solution will be you throw each other and their kids into the sea. Are you ready for that? If this is, I think, human species, we call ourselves wise men. We should call by a term that should mean the most crooked species on earth. I have been always advocating that when we talk about development, development should be nature-centric, not human-centric. We cannot stop development, that is the general argument. But do you realize, is it development? Your argument is, there is no way looking back. But in front, there is a deep trench. There is a deep well. You are ready to jump into that? I am sorry, friends. I get emotional when these issues are there. But definitely the time has come when we must think about the marginalized communities, when we must think about the environment, and when we must think about the overall concept of development. Please think. Thank you.